Welcome to one of football's lesser-known outposts, but one that's planning to put itself firmly on the map over the next few years. Sandwiched between Southampton and Winchester for our home of a famous aeroplane and comedian Benny Hill, and now one of English football's most upwardly mobile clubs. There's great excitement in Hampshire tonight as the conference debutants take their home bow against near neighbours from just 39 miles up the M3. It's a 7:45 kickoff for Eastleigh against twice relegated from the Football League Aldershot Town, and it's coming up next exclusively live on BT Sport. Yes, folks, it's take your life into your own hands time. We've come into the social club here at the Silver Lake Stadium. Delighted to have alongside us Gary Waddock. He was the man in 2008 that brought Aldershot back into the Football League for the first time. I'll tell you what I want to ask you. What is the biggest challenge? To bring a Football League back up, or do you think to take a non-league team all the way up the pyramid and then try and get it there?
I think it's the Football League club to try and turn that round and get them back into the league. But for a team coming up, I think they got the momentum. They keep going, and I think with Eastleigh tonight, with the signings that they've made as well, they keep pushing forward. But
there's the infrastructure issue, obviously, and you must have found it. You know, Aldershot were a Phoenix club. 1992 came up those 5 promotions. You got the last. There's a lot of catching up to do off the field, isn't there?
Yeah, there certainly is. And obviously, when it happened to us at Aldershot, we had to change a lot of things, and it's no different here to Eastleigh. But they're doing a fine, good job of it here, and it's a fantastic atmosphere in the clubhouse here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. First ever home game in the 5th tier. Really looking forward to having you alongside us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the presence of greatness tonight because your founder is here. Will you give him a round of applause, please? Derek is here. If you don't mind me asking you, how old are you, sir?
90.
90.
And a half.
And a half. Wow. Still involved in this beloved football club of yours?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. They made me life president several years ago.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised because it was in 1946, the year after the end of the Second World War,
that's right,
that you got this club together.
Yeah.
Swaveling Athletic, they tell me originally.
Yeah, your information's correct.
Yeah, well, I knew you'd keep me right, that's for sure. How on earth do you feel tonight, Derek?
Very elated. It seems hard to believe that we've achieved what we have achieved. And I mean, tonight is very special, I think, to the club as a whole. Better still when we win. But we'll have to see about that as time goes on this evening. I envisaged years ago that we one day might get out of junior league football, local football, and tonight we've achieved it.
Yeah, and there could be a bit more in the tank.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, what an absolute pleasure to meet you, Derek. Ladies and gentlemen, once more for Derek, please. So who are these non-league upstarts with designs on getting into the Football League? Time to meet the Spitfires.
The first Spitfire flew out from Eastleigh Airport, just over the back there. We've been in the Conference South for 9 years. People have always said that this area could cope with a bigger club around.
Obviously we won the league last year, so it's got a feel-good factor around the club at the minute.
It was a massive achievement for the club, and it's taken them into another level now.
This is the biggest stage we've ever played on.
How you going? You all right, boys? You all right?
Stuart has been the catalyst of all that's happened to this football club over the last 2.5 years.
Like every boy, you want to play. If you can't play, you want to manage. If you can't manage, you want to own. JC, still injured.
What he's doing for this football club is remarkable, to be honest with you. It must be every Eastleigh fan's dreams come true.
Stanners! Brilliant! Just what we're looking for!
I knew Richard, and I knew I needed somebody that I could trust. So I picked the phone up. Didn't take long, did it? No. 2-minute conversation, and yes, please, I think. I don't know if I was selling at you or you needed a job, but it was one or the other.
I think it was probably the
It was probably both. That was probably both.
you could always work harder than your mate. You can always work harder than the opposition.
I've probably put in, I would think, something in the region of about £3 million.
Most of all, relax when you get the football.
First thing was to try and improve the team. The second thing then is the stadium.
Go time, boys, come on! Okay.
And then the third thing being the fan base, because they need a team to watch and they need a nice facility to watch it in.
Come on, do your job!
Well, the manager's starting to get a bit lively.
Righty, come on, you've got to be stronger there! It's coming to you! Thank you, Chris. Brilliant, thank you.
Friendly finishes Eastleigh 0, Northampton Town 1.
You're being nice. And I don't mean be horrible by going around kicking people, be horrible by making the opposition go back towards their own goal. But hey, it's not all too shabby either, I'm telling you. Not all too shabby. Well done to you, boys.
If we could get out the Conference Premier, we certainly feel that we could get to a League One football club.
Big week, Danny.
Yeah. Good lad, well done. You know, that's what you're in football for. You want to be successful, and for us, success is promotion.
Well, good luck.
Thank you. All right, I'll see you in the bar.
What a cracking atmosphere as we crank up towards kick-off. £3 million, that's a hell of a lot of money. Gary, which side of the fence are you on? A, that it refreshes the pyramid, or B, it's dangerous if the benefactor loses interest?
Well, firstly, you've got to give him great credit for the amount of money that he's invested into the club, both on and off the field. So, and what he's done during the summer with the players that he's brought in has been fantastic. But if he walked away, I think it would cause a problem. But
and let's be honest, if somebody like Reading nearly goes into administration with a backer like Sir John Medeski in there, anything is possible. You mentioned those players. Let's have a quick look, because this list is pretty incredible. Some of them you know as well. I'm thinking in particular James Constable, because you were at Oxford in the summer when he made the decision to quit and come here.
Well, James Constable is a very good player. You know, his goal-scoring record, both in the conference and in the league, is very, very good. And obviously with the other players that he's brought in as well, they've got a lot of experience. They know how to get out of this division as well, and we know how difficult a job that is.
Yeah, well, it's a real difficulty. There's no question. There are 13 former Football League clubs trying to do it. How important is past experience? I count 9 players in that Eastleigh squad who have previously been promoted out of this division.
Well, it's important. They know how to do it. That's the main thing. But it's very early on in the season. They got off to a good start. You know, it's their first home game here, so they want to give a good account of themselves in front of the cameras as well. So they'll be looking for the 3 points to add to what they've already got.
And a bumper crowd as well. They want to perform for them. Well, what about the opposition? Aldershot finished 19th last season. They did start though with a 10-point deduction for going into administration, but this time around they start with a clean slate. Steve Bowers talking to their manager Andy Scott.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. Fresh from the 3 points on the opening day with that win over Altrincham. Andy Scott, how different are you feeling this time compared to 12 months ago with all the problems you had and the deduction?
It's a lot less stressful, that's for sure. You know, we didn't really have time to settle at all in pre-season last year. We were signing players on the way up to Grimsby, as well documented. But this year we've been able to plan through the summer. We've tried to improve the squad. We've made a lot of changes behind the scenes at the football club and the way that the playing staff's been done and the way we train and stuff like that. But we've been able to get a good pre-season under our belt and have the majority of the squad in place to be able to work on things, you know, without having to get into the first game and sort of been working through the games, just trying to improve. So, you know, it's a lot more relaxed. We're obviously, you know, starting to level terms with everyone else, which is a bonus as well. But, you know, we're going to see where it takes us this year. You know, there's after the turmoil of last year, we just want a year where we can just go and enjoy playing and try and win games and see where it takes us.
And with that, what would be a realistic expectation for Aldershot this season?
Well, I think that it's fair to say that we want to improve on last year. We effectively got 61 points. You know, so we are aiming for the top half of the table and trying to get in the top 10. That's probably a realistic aim. But you don't know where it takes you. You know, if we can stay injury-free and suspension-free, we've got a pretty small squad, and it affected us last year. But if we can keep our key players fit and well, then you don't know really. And I think that a lot of the sides that are part-time, you know, Halifax and Nuneaton, showed last year how that can be done, and you know, we've gone part-time now, but there's no reason why we can't challenge in every game and give a good account of ourselves.
We're looking forward to tonight. Good luck. Thanks for your time.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Well, I tell you what, there's a decent array of Aldershot fans have made it down here tonight, and the atmosphere is as good as, I think, most things we've had when covering the conference over the last year or so. Is there, in Aldershot's scenario, a sort of case of all that momentum goes into getting back in the league, but then once you're there, there's a different challenge staying there?
Yeah, it's a challenge, obviously, going up and trying to get the promotion, but there's another challenge, as you rightly say,
but
staying
you've got feist in your bones because you've dropped out, you know.
Yeah, well, you want to go again, don't you? And obviously with the support that the club get, and as we can hear them now, they're fantastic, and they've had a couple of difficult seasons to deal with, but hopefully this year everything's settled down at the club and they can move forward.
Got 2 or 3 decent players as well. A lot of people are tipping Brett Williams to make a big splay in the goal scoring charts again. He was third last season, but a lot of people tipping him to be the leading goal scorer this time.
He done very well last year, so they're looking again for him to get the goals to win football matches and push up the table. He's got to just continue from what he done last year.
Yeah, and Josh Scott, man of the match performance at the weekend.
Again, he's got to continue, he's got to be consistent, he's got to hopefully put in another good performance tonight for the club, and they have brought in some good players, and hopefully they can gel and get some points.
So, on the gantry for us tonight, somewhere over there, is the former Brighton and Celtic defender Adam Virgo, and he's alongside Steve Power, who can bring us up to date with what's been happening this week in the conference.
Yes, welcome to our salubrious home for the evening tonight in Hampshire. We're just grateful that it is a dry night, and as you rightly say, it's the last game of this conference week, and in case you missed any of the results earlier in the week, let me bring you bang up to date with them, because there's some very interesting ones as well. Macclesfield winning at AFC Telford, 2 wins out of 2 for them. Lincoln 4 points from 6, no points yet for Altrincham. Barnet started well, 100% record, and Bristol Rovers, who we featured on Saturday, yet to get their first victory in the conference. Braintree up and running against Dover, another win for FC Halifax at home to Southport, and for Forest Green against Chester. Another 0-0 draw for Grimsby, this time at home to Nuneaton. Kidderminster with a 3-0 win over Alfreton are off and running as well. First win in the back in the conference for Torquay, 3-0 at home to Welling. A late equaliser meant that Woking finished 1-1 with Dartford, and Gateshead, last year's beaten finalists in the playoffs, 6 points from 6 after a 3-0 win at Wrexham. Very early days, but after the first 2 games, 5 teams still awaiting their first point, and at the top there are 5 teams as well with 2 wins out of 2. Very early days, of course, Adam, but what has caught your eye so far?
Well, I think Barnet are the standout team so far. I think they've started so well, and Martin Allen's now managed to reshuffle his squad, and it's now his own. They might not be the best on paper, but he manages to motivate them. Had a great result against Chester, followed that up with Bristol Rovers. Gary Mills at Gateshead. You worry sometimes about that hangover playoff, how his team react, and they've reacted brilliantly. A great result against Wrexham. And of course Forest Green, with the spending power that they've got, the quality of players that are already there, I feel that they can always be a strong contender for the playoffs.
Yeah, most people expect them to be in the top 5. Talking of Forest Green, via Skype, we can talk to one of their new boys, John Parkin, who has joined them in the summer. John, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Good evening to you. How have you found the start? A positive one, 6 points from 6?
Yeah, obviously couldn't have started any better, really. 2 tough games, but we managed to get the 2 wins and try and kick on Saturday.
Since signing, John, as we've mentioned, everybody knows about their budget of the last year or 2. Do you sense that expectation, a little bit of pressure at this level, Forest Green Rovers?
Yeah, but I think that's good. That obviously comes with the alleged wages that we pay. But no, it's up to us to go out on a Saturday and perform and show that we're earning us money.
And John, playing at the peak of your career in the Championship, how have you found the level of the conference so far?
It's not too bad, to be honest. I think it's not that different to League 2. I think obviously there's some part-time teams where it's going to be a little bit tougher for them. But yeah, it's as I say, we're only 2 games in, so I've still got quite a little bit to learn.
But do you feel they've got a fighting chance, John? I mean, you played for Fleetwood last year. They've been there and done it in this league, of course.
Yeah, hopefully we. As I say, it's only 2 games in. It's a long old season, but if we can stay injury-free, we think we've got a good enough squad to be up there challenging.
John, we look forward to seeing you on our next live game against Bristol Rovers. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Cheers, pal. Thank you.
Forest Green Rovers, one of the teams that are fancied in this Vanarama Conference this season. But tonight the spotlight is on Richard Hill and Eastleigh in their first home game in this division, and they welcome the team from Hampshire as well, Aldershot Town, who, like Eastleigh, started the season with 3 points on Saturday. Cracking atmosphere building up. Don't forget, of course, all the football continues on BT Sport from north of the border tomorrow from 7:30. You can see Rangers off and running. They are at Falkirk. That is live for you tomorrow night. But tonight, as I say, from the Vanarama Conference, this one should be a cracker. Eastleigh against Aldershot Town. Don't go anywhere. It's live very shortly.
The Barclays Premier League returns this weekend, but tonight we're in the thick of Vanarama Conference action. The first ever home game at this level for Eastleigh against Aldershot Town. The teams are in the tunnel. Time for us to hand up to the gantry and to the Brighton and Celtic former defender Adam Virgo. And hello again, Steve Bauer.
Well, good evening, everyone. This is a game that years ago Eastleigh were dreaming about staging. Their first ever home game in non-league's top tier. And it is their Hampshire neighbours who arrive as well. 2 years ago, of course, Eastleigh were in the Conference South, Aldershot Town in the Football League. Now they're on the same platform. And Eastleigh have assembled an experienced and costly squad. They make 2 changes, though, from Saturday's win. Adnan Eaton, Craig Stanley is injured. Stuart Fleetwood is on the bench. So Will Evans and Yemi Odebaid come in. Those 2 part of 6 players in that starting 11 who've been promoted from the conference before. They include new boy James Constable, who was top scorer in each of his 6 seasons at Oxford United. Aldershot Town are unchanged in the team that opened with victory over Altrincham on the opening day. Brett Williams scored in that victory after his 24 league goals last season. He had 3 spells here at Eastleigh. Glenn Wilson has been the course before. He won the title with Crawley 4 years ago, while Jayden Gibbs is the twin brother of Arsenal's Kieran.
Well, both teams will be lining up 4-4-2, and Aldershot will come here to try and frustrate Eastleigh with this home crowd, looking off for a good start. But for me, it's about the front line of both teams. Midson and Constable, how will they link up together? And they need to get service very, very quickly. And Brett Williams at Aldershot, 28 goals last season. He'll be their talisman, and they'll be looking to get him into the game very early.
Well, before we kick off, we can get back down to that dugout area and try and get a last final thought with Clem.
Well, actually, I'm going to interrupt the 2 managers talking here. They're in mid-conflab. There's smiles all around. Andy, Scott, your final thoughts?
That'd be interesting. You know, it's a good test for us after a good win Saturday, and Richard's had a good win Saturday as well. So we'll see what the standard's like. And, obviously the lads are set fair and ready to go. So I'm sure Richard's boys are as well.
Thanks to you. Go away. We want to talk about you behind your back. So this is it. The dream becomes reality.
Yeah, apparently so, isn't it? Yeah, it's a tough game for us tonight. Very, very tough. So we'll see where we end up after 90 minutes.
Good luck. All yours, Steve Bauer.
Clem, thank you. It is fascinating. The team that 11 years ago were in the Wessex League, playing their first home game in this league, and they have aspirations of the Football League. Lee Swaby is our man in the middle. He was at Wembley with us for the playoff final at the end of last season as the 4th official, and it will be Aldershot Town, the team from 39 miles down the road in Hampshire, in the red and the blue, to get the first ever competitive meeting between these 2 teams underway. A meeting that was a pipe dream only a couple of years ago. 2 teams that opened with the dream opening day victory. And don't forget, of course, you can tweet us your thoughts on this match throughout the evening as well.
So Andy Scott would be delighted. After the season that they had last year, the turmoil financially off the pitch, they managed to get off to a good start with a win, and that's what you want after a difficult season. And for Eastleigh, well, this has been a dream of theirs for many, many years. And Richard Hill will be asking a lot of his players to give something to the crowd to be thinking about. say the frontier of Midson and Constable, they really need to get them into the game early. With their movement, could cause Aldershot problems.
That's the first ball towards Brett Williams that is cut out by Dean Beckwith, the experienced campaigner at the heart of the Eastleigh defence. He's won only one but two promotions from the conference earlier on in his career. He arrived here from Luton Town, no less. Let me tell you, Eastleigh have very serious aspirations of moving from the top flight of non-league in their first season towards the Football League. It can be done. We've seen it with the backing over recent years of Fleetwood Town, of Crawley Town. Will it be this team from Hampshire who are making the headlines at the end of this long, arduous season?
Yeah, well, you just wonder, when a team has a lot of money backed into them, the expectation level around here will definitely affect the players. But what Richard Hill will want is how his players can cope with the demands of the financial backing that they've got coming up into the league.
And that's Derek Brooks, 90 years of age, the man who founded the club. And it means more to him tonight than any of those Eastleigh supporters, with the help of the finances of Stuart Donald, the chairman. They've reinforced the ground, they've reinforced the playing surface, and of course they've strengthened the playing squad. It is all in place.
It's a great playing surface, Steve. So for a conference level, I say you get this in the Football League, this kind of standard. So they do take great care. They're trying to do everything right off the pitch, and the players will hopefully react to that and get results on the pitch for them.
They have an experienced manager in charge as well, Richard Hill. He's really embraced the challenge. 50 years of age, formerly assistant to John Gregory at Queen's Park Rangers at Wickham, and in his spell at Kazakhstan, he was assistant at Aston Villa, Tranmere, Gillingham, Northampton as well. He was even a technical advisor at one stage to the Ethiopian national team. He's been there and done it. Now he's the main man, and he's the one trying to write the Eastleigh fairy tale this season. This is Will Evans. Michael Green, his second spell at Eastleigh. Attacking Kieran Forbes. Thought he'd won the corner. The referee says goal kick.
So Green will be looking for the overlaps. Say Mosley tucks in a little bit, and he does worry about his pace, and he'll want to get on the ball, Mosley, and Green can really expose that. He reads him down the left-hand side as well. I say that'll be a good out ball for Eastleigh.
Josh Scott and Brett Williams both scored for Aldershot in the front two at the weekend. 3-1 home win against Altrincham. One with Jordan Roberts, a team that were 19th last season. They would have been 15th without the points deduction. Andy Scott was chatting to me earlier on, saying that to keep Aldershot Town in the Conference Premier last season was on a par with the promotion he achieved at Brentford from League Two, and they won the title in 2008-09 in his first job. And that's why he's filled with more optimism for this season ahead. And that's a free kick to Aldershot Town. Beckwith it was rather Reid, the offender. Paul Reid, another one of the new faces from Northampton. Played 18 times in League Two last season.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience. Over 300 league games behind him. And they're the signings that can always help you out of this division. People that know the game, know how to win games, and he's certainly one of those.
333 appearances in the Football League. The likes of Scunthorpe and Colchester and Barnsley. Still only 32. And that experience will be important for Eastleigh throughout this campaign. Constable attacking that. Strevens then for Eastleigh. This is Odebaid. Another name known well to conference supporters, Yemi Odebaid. His second season here from Gateshead. He was a title winner 4 years ago with Stevenage. Went on to play in the Football League with Oxford as well. Began his career in the conference at Eastbourne.
No, he'd be disappointed with that cross. Got it early. plenty of time to get down to the byline and cross it in for Midson in the middle. Strevens brilliantly there, just backing up play, winning the second balls, keeping it alive.
Daniel Spence with the throw for Eastleigh. From Reed. Well, here's the man that's made it all happen. Stuart Donald, the Eastleigh chairman. You heard him telling us earlier on he's put over £3 million of his money into this club. You'll know Andy Scott, the opposing manager, well tonight because he's a former season ticket holder at Oxford United, for whom Andy Scott played over 100 games. What a tale and story, and you sense there might be a chapter or two still to be written. Moseley for Aldershot Town. Jay Reason for Eastleigh. It's cut out by Osler. Michael Green, who only missed 4 games last season when Eastleigh won the Conference South title, flicked on by Constable.
I'm sure Richard Hill will be looking for them to get it out to Oderbade on the right-hand side against Barker. The pace that he's got, really want to attack him, but they need to get Constable into the game just a little bit more.
10 league goals last season for Oxford. He was only 1 short of being their all-time record goal scorer. And he decided to reject a new contract and accept the Eastleigh Fairy Tale Challenge back in the conference. And he's on the ball again now. Midson waiting in the penalty area. Oderbade there as well. It was aimed towards Midson. It was cut out by Osler, and it's an Eastleigh corner.
That's a great block there from Osler. If he'd have missed that, Midson was just behind him on the edge of the 6-yard box. And it was a great first touch from Constable. Got it out in front of him. Put a brilliant ball in there.
Aldershot have pulled everybody back except Roberts to defend this corner. Plenty of bodies inside that penalty area. Off the head of Chris Barker and Jay Reason. And held comfortably by Phil Smith, the Aldershot Town goalkeeper. A new face for them in goal. A 34-year-old who arrived from Portsmouth in the summer. And a couple of seasons down there. And 2 seasons in the conference with Crawley Town. It's long from Spence. Get out by Barker. Oderbade. Attacking Barker, trying to use that pace. Oderbade manages to keep it alive. Spence with the cross. Aldershot Town got away with that. Lathrop it was.
He did well then, Barker. Gave him a little bit of time. Oderbade, big touch on the outside, used his pace well. Barker made a good tackle there. This was a cross that come in. Just beats everyone at the minute. But what they're doing well, Eastleigh, is winning second balls at the minute.
Jaden Gibbs. Twin brother of Arsenal's Kieran. He too playing at full-back this evening with the throw. Williams. Brett Williams once more. Roberts. He's looking for Mark Moseley. Very nearly found him too.
He needed to make the tackle there. Strevens. Moseley's taking a few good positions at the minute. Not actually playing out right on the white. He's coming in, trying to find gaps to get on the ball.
The Aldershot Town supporters in good voice. There'll be an even better voice if anything happens from this long throw. Delivered by Chris Barker. And almost deceived the goalkeeper. It is an Aldershot corner. Williams felt there was the use of an elbow.
It's certainly a weapon that they've got, this long throw at the minute. They attack it well. Just comes off Wilson. I don't think it was anything deliberate there. set plays will be crucial for Aldershot tonight, especially with the height they've got, with Barker and Wilson especially.
Lathrope has gone short to Mosley. Woods attacking, and then it came out to Forbes. Line from Forest Green. Kieran Forbes couldn't keep that one down.
And they switch off their Eastleigh, and they take the quick one. They need to be better on this. Decent ball in from Mosley. On the edge of the box there. Forbes slashes it wildly.
Came to the Watford Academy. Kieran Forbes with the former Forest Green and now Leeds United manager Dave Hockaday. He was on loan in the Conference South last season for Whitehawks and actually scored here against Eastleigh. He wasn't close to repeating that there. Lathrope. Roberts with the flick. And Spencer rather lost his footing. Had a really good home record in the Conference South last season. Eastleigh. They've actually won 11 of their last 12 at home. This was the date they were always looking for, their first home game in the top flight of non-league football. Space now for Mosley coming in from that right-hand side. This is Roberts. Attacking Spence. Decent delivery. Away by Paul Reed for Eastleigh.
That's the run at Mosley again. Took up a brilliant position there. And again, well defended from Eastleigh.
Lathrope. Captain Glenn Wilson. For Salisbury last season. That was kept in by Josh Scott. As well watched by Wilson. Midson right on his shoulder. Challenge there by Beckwith to dispossess Brett Williams. And a strong one on Jay Reason. Here's Oda Bate. Early delivery over Constable, which couldn't really deal with it. Reason, now Midson. Green in support, he was on his wrong foot. And then Strevens with the effort. Blocked by Osler. And there might be an Aldershot Town break on. Scott. This is Jordan Roberts. Oh, and he was looking to feed Brett Williams.
It's just a clear ball there from Roberts. Through to Williams. And you need that little bit of quality in the final third. You need to lend it a little bit more for him to get on the end of it. They break well here now. He's got a bit of time. It's a brilliant run from Williams, but I say the quality of ball into him needed to be a bit more in front of him there for him to run onto and get the shot.
Long from Green. Touch from Strevens. Reason. This is Will Evans. He's nowhere near a teammate there. The 22-year-old in his second season from Hereford. A spell with Newport as well in their successful season under Jeston Edinburgh to get out of the conference, although he didn't play in the playoff final. Another one who's been the course before. Williams has got goal side. And that wasn't in the script.
Well, so it was a great run from Williams there. He uses great strength. And he's got acres of space now. He's looking up. I can't quite explain what he's trying to do there.
I think he should be able to. You've done it once or twice, I'm sure.
He's probably been watching me too many times, to be honest.
The man who got 24 league goals in 43 games last season. Only Lee Gregory and Andre Gray scored more, and we know where they ended up. in the Championship. Surely if Brett Williams starts this season in the same vein, they will be Football League clubs hovering.
Yeah, don't forget the other two that you mentioned, Gregory and Gray, were playing for teams that were in form. If it wasn't for his goals last season, I think Aldershot would have been down a long time before.
That's a very good point. Foul by Odebay.
Yeah, he's done well there, Barker, a couple of times now. I thought that'd be a contest that he may struggle with, just with his pace. 2 or 3 times now, just uses his experience there. Feels a little tap from behind and just goes over.
He has got plenty of experience, Chris Barker. He's played in the Championship for 5 different clubs. He's the brother of Richie Barker, who's managed Bury, Crawley and Portsmouth. He's now the assistant to Carl Robinson at MK Dons. Spence with the throw.
I think so far managers will be pleased with the start that their teams have made. I think the quality out wide of the delivery has actually been quite good. It's just when it's been a little bit more central. Balls into the front two haven't been good enough yet. They've been over-hit, not really been hit with any quality. As you see there, Eastleigh will have a bit of a possession, being the home team and wanting to play early. It's what you do with it in the final third for me that really makes a difference with the possession.
Michael Green with the throw for Eastleigh. Cut out by Gibbs. Williams is all alone at the moment. It was a lovely first touch. He's got Scott and Roberts trying to get up with him. He couldn't find either of them.
Just again there, just needs to be a bit more concentrating on the ball there. It was a lazy pass across there, took a good touch. Just in that key area again, a little bit more quality.
Big relief lifted off the shoulders of Aldershot Town at the end of July. And they were officially out of administration. They paid their creditors 2 years ahead of schedule. Perfect timing in pre-season for the start of the season. After all the problems that man had to deal with last season, Andy Scott, 18 months in charge since succeeding Dean Holdsworth. It's certainly been a challenge and a learning curve for him.
And also that brief confidence through the team as well, knowing financially that they're ahead with the creditors. And I'm sure last season that must have played a big burden on how they were last year.
Another play by Beckwith, Eastleigh captain. Jaden Gibbs with the throw. No foul by Lathrop. Barker had time to assess the situation. Scott has done well. Strevens. Finally through to Flitnick.
So the front two for Aldershot, they have chased everything down. It was shown there by Scott, the determination. It was an overhit ball from Barker. So he just used great strength against Green there to keep the ball in play. But again, just that little bit of quality to put it back into the box.
Too strong for Reason. Jamie Reason got 12 goals in the Conference South last season from midfield, including 2 hat-tricks. Only with Braintree and given his his first opportunity by Gary Brabham at Cambridge United all those years ago. Originally through the Ipswich Academy. Still only 24. Green. Lathrop. Foul on Gibbs. Quickly taken. Mosley. Barker. And Forbes available. Strong charge again on Williams, this time by Beckwith. Roberts. Spence got away with that one. Nixon couldn't get control of that. Good enough to put Gibbs off, though. Twin brother of Arsenal's Kieran, who signed a new one-year deal in the summer after 31 appearances last season. Gibbs again will take the throw for Aldershot Town. Here he is once more. Mosley. Lathrop. Now Forbes. Almost neatly worked by Aldershot Town. Eastleigh back line stood firm.
I think Aldershot in the last 5 minutes have really starting to put a stamp on their game. I think Mosley's positioning at the minute has been brilliant. I think Forbes as well, what he's doing well, he's getting the ball into him first time, and the ball's round the corner to the front two, perfectly weighted, and that's how Andy Scott's team are really getting high up the pitch at the minute.
Ross Flitney, another one with Football League experience, the goalkeeper with the long free kick, headed away by Osler. Michael Green. Took out Constable.
Just chose the wrong ball there. Reason just coming off the line, and the ball into his feet would have been better. An overhit one to James Constable, couldn't do much about that.
Vincent and Constable reunited. They were Oxford United teammates the year they won the playoff final at Wembley against York City. Trying to help Eastleigh towards the echelons of the Football League. A team that 11 years ago were playing in the Wessex League. Odebaid has been penalised.
So Barker uses his experience again, feels that he can win it. Just a better contact there from Odebaid. Feels it's a free kick.
Osler, the former Torquay defender, with the free kick for Aldershot Town. Just towards Williams, who couldn't do anything with that. Still only 26, Brett Williams. Reminder, more live football tomorrow night on BT Sport 1 from 7:30 from Scotland. You can see Rangers go to Falkirk live. A reminder, in the beginning of the Barclays Premier League on Saturday, Matchday Live, episode 1 with Fletch and South from 10, with all the best build-up, and that, of course, is ahead of the opener, the first game of the Barclays Premier League season. Louis van Gaal's Manchester United against Swansea, live only on BT Sport. Don't forget, of course, you can watch all our coverage via the BT Sport app and get all the details via the website at btsport.com. Free kick to Eastleigh. Which Jay Reason is going to take. Plenty of targets in there. Streven's got his head to it. He's good at the weekend at Nuneaton. Ben Strevens. Richard Hill, a little frustrated, it's fair to say, with the delivery at the moment.
I think the quality hasn't been up there. Set plays are always crucial. It was a poor free kick there from Reason. Had to have a lot more quality to it. It was asking a lot of Strevens to get something on target with that. Started well first 10 minutes, but say the last 15-20 minutes they've really been poor all Eastleigh. I just think he'll just be expecting a little bit more being the home team, especially trying to get the front two into the game. Constable and Midson at the minute, they're not doing enough.
Barker's throw. Williams beaten to it, cleared by Spence. And then Midson. Now that's for Constable to chase. Wilson for company. And the Aldershot Town skipper was in the way. Picked up by Jack Midson once more. Then cleared by Lathrop. Evans. A little more encouraging from Eastleigh's point of view. Green being chased by Mosley. Came off Gibbs and gathered by Smith.
So I was just saying earlier about the quality of delivery into the box has been poor. I'm sure that's what Richard Hill would be disappointed with.
Well, let's get a view from Richard Hill, the Eastleigh manager. He's with Clem.
You're frustrated, Richard?
Yes, I am. We can do better than this. And at the minute, we're not keeping the ball well enough.
Do you know why?
I just think we're a little bit nervous at the minute for some reason. We're just on the edge of things. We're not just quite as fluid as I'd like us at the moment. You know, we can keep the ball better. I just think they're showing a little bit more know-how than we are, that's all.
Thanks, Richard.
I completely agree with him. I think the occasion might have got to his players at the minute. That's what I spoke about before the game.
Here's Mosley trying his luck from range. That was nearer the corner flag than the target.
I think he's had a good game so far, Mosley. He's taken up great positions. And here he is again, he's playing now on the left-hand side, cuts in. Slashes wildly at it, going wide. But just a little bit earlier, he ran through the midfield of Eastleigh way too easily.
Well, he got 7 goals in 31 games last season, Mark Mosley, having only scored 8 in the previous 5 seasons. Knows this club inside out, his 3rd spell. No debate. The referee inadvertently in the way there. With the ball from Will Evans. And then Mosley couldn't find Josh Scott. Well, let's even things up. We've heard from Richard Hill. Here's the Aldershot Town manager, Andy Scott.
Your opposite number's not happy. How are you?
Yeah, no, pleased. We're getting some really nice areas in the final third. Just the quality of the final ball, but defensively we look nice and solid, and we look like we can cause them a few problems. Mark Mosley's getting in some nice little areas. So no, pleased with the start so far. Yeah.
Thanks, Andy.
Here's Gibbs, Aldershot on the attack again. Williams. Excellent close control. Gibbs with the cross. It's an inviting one, and in behind came Jordan Roberts, and he couldn't steer it on target.
Well, it's a wonderful ball in, and the cross just comes in too easily. There's no support out there with reasons. It's a brilliant ball in there. It's just so unlucky at the far post there. I think he actually comes off Spence in the end. Look how easy the cross comes in. It's the overlap of Mosley that creates the angle, a bit of space. It just goes agonisingly wide there.
Jordan Roberts, who scored in the 3-1 victory of Altrincham at the weekend. The closest effort of this evening so far. Osler. That's out on the full from Ross Flitney. And Richard Hill is out of his seat again.
I think the standard that he sets himself, I think concentration when you're not playing well, you still need to concentrate at the back there. So the cross came in there way too easily, not enough pressure.
Here they come again. Aldershot Town with Josh Scott. He didn't have the composure required in that situation.
Just unlucky there, Midson at the far post. Green just switched off there. The ball had gone in across the 6-yard box on the floor. Of course, a bit of problems.
The British summer is back in Hampshire. The umbrellas are up. The Silver Lake Stadium, which holds just over 3,000. Eastleigh's home since 1957. This is the biggest night in their league history. And as their manager alluded to, just the little nerves all round, both on and off the pitch. You can feel it in the air.
You certainly can. And you and I were just saying about any team that's back financially, like Eastleigh have done, that always brings pressure onto players, especially at this level, especially. And at the minute, so Richard Hill's right, I don't think his players are really up for the challenge at the minute. They look nervous on the ball. Their decisions in the final third hasn't been good enough. I don't think they're just sometimes, when things are not going right, you need to show a bit of grit and determination to try and get yourself through this bad period, and at the minute they're not really showing that.
That's good movement from Reason. Now, can he provide a telling cross? Gathered in the end by Phil Smith in the Aldershot Town goal. A nudge on him.
It's better play there from Reason's getting it again, but he's always going to be cutting back on his right foot. I'm slightly worried there. The spin of the ball could have quite easily gone over Smith's head. But I was never a goalkeeper, but he's bad of experience there and took it well.
Foul on Michael Green by Brett Williams. A brief spell in the Football League, Michael Green with Port Vale before returning here to Eastleigh. Beckwith with the free kick. Heading towards Midston. Constable with a spectacular effort.
He hasn't really had much to do in the game so far, James Constable. So a long ball in from Beckwith. Midson gets in a good position. They've had to be spectacular strike there to beat Smith from that distance. Such a hard technique, that overhead kick, especially from outside the box.
He's only 29 years of age, you know, James Constable. Seems to have been around forever. Dummy from Reason. Williams. Now Mosley. Space again ahead of him. He was looking for Williams. Cut out by Michael Green. Picked up by Forbes. No way through for Williams on that occasion.
Well, the front two for Aldershot. Scott and Williams are running the channels brilliantly. They're using their strength and they're getting the better of Beckworth and Reed at the minute. They need to be stronger at the two centre halves of Eastleigh.
The flag is up. Midson is in an offside position.
I'll say he's always going to be offside there. It's a great line there. Needed to get back earlier there to get back onside.
Yet another one who's been promoted from this league with Oxford, Jack Midson. He played in League 2 last season for AFC Wimbledon. He had 3 seasons there. He scored 7 times in League 2 last season. Another one of those experienced new boys that Eastleigh have brought in. Here's Mosley. Just turned into Strevens. Oderbade. This time Midson is onside. Gibbs is trying to close him down. It's still Midson. He wasn't able to feed Evans to his left.
It's a great ball there. Just played on the shoulder of Osler there. couldn't quite get it out of his feet. But Jayden Gibbs using all of his pace to get back in cover, just to hold him up enough. The players to come back and make the tackle. That's a much better play, a bit more central. It's that quality of the through ball which got him in there.
Gibbs looking for Josh Scott. Cut out by Beckwith. Odebaid. This is Will Evans. Cut out by Barker. And the foul by Evans.
Well, that's better play there. Strevens gets on the ball, and a couple of times they've gone forward and backwards. I mean, this is the ball there. Shouldn't be playing offside there. Wilson needs to stay with him. But Gibbs just comes back. It's a quick fallback. Saw the danger. Got his team out of trouble there.
Gibbs. Again, the target is Williams. This time he almost got away from Beckwith. Green was the covering defender. Edson and Reason not on the same wavelength. Strevens with the back pass. Dealt with in the end by Ross Flitney.
Sounds good keeping there from Ross Flindley. Came out, saw the danger.
They'll certainly be more encouraged than the home supporters at the moment. There's a foul by Williams. Some of the supporters will still be pinching themselves, believing they're watching a Conference Premier game at the Silver Lake Stadium tonight. They only had 9 seasons in the Conference South. Will the rise continue? Here's Midson, and he's offside. Constable having it in the back of the net.
They're winning the second balls now. And it's Gibbs down the bottom side. Odebaid just released that half a second earlier. He would have been on, just a delayed pass. But Midson offside. I think these nights tonight, Steve, is when you're not playing well. So the pressure's always going to be on Eastleigh at the minute. These are the results tonight. They just take a 1-0, take a 2-0 result and just get on with it. Sometimes the performance always doesn't really matter. So they've got goal scoring Constable up front. As you say, I'm sure Richard Hill will be telling his team at half time to a little bit more in their game.
The challenge gets even greater for Richard Hill the weekend. Last year's beaten Wembley finalists Gateshead, who've started with 2 wins out of 2, 6 goals scored. Gary Mills brings his much fancied team to Hampshire at the weekend. That's what being in the Conference Premier on the conference is all about.
As we said, the games will be coming thick and fast at the beginning of the season, and they'll be looking to put a lot of points on the board early. And again, Gateshead come down there, one of the favourites for promotion. It'll be another tough game.
Inside the final 5 minutes of the first half. Odebaid, Reason powering through the middle. Might come to him here, Jay Reason. Oh, and Mark Mosley got back in the nick of time for Aldershot Town. That was a promising move down the right for Eastleigh. Evans, stopped by Mosley. And then picks it up once more. Forbes. Late challenge on Kieran Forbes.
It's a great strength there from Forbes. Got his body into Evans' there. Used his pace brilliantly. Tried to play the 1-2. Just gets caught by Strevens there. I think Forbes and Mosley for Aldershot have been the best players so far. They're looking to play. Forbes playing the quick balls around the corner, taking quick free kicks. Mosley's positions at the minute. Eastleigh can't quite cope with him.
The Aldershot free kick, floated in towards Scott. And then Williams. Scott almost trying to make something of the second ball. It was Spence who lost his footing. It's a corner to Aldershot Town in the end.
It was Lathrop that got into the second ball. When it dropped to Williams, he thought he should have hit that first time. Tried to take that extra touch. Should have hit it just right there, because he was on his left, didn't fancy it. He just done enough to stop it there.
Lathrop to deliver the corner for Aldershot Town. It was Osler who got his head to it, but couldn't get over it.
He just got underneath it a little bit. Just pulls off Strevens there. It's a great delivery in. Strevens just did enough to put him off there. A couple of times now from throw-ins and corners. They've looked dangerous, Aldershot.
Still remains goalless between these two clubs meeting for the very first time. Separated by less than 40 miles. Constable's flick. To be dealt with by Osler. In his second season at Aldershot. Previously with Torquay. Over 120 Football League appearances. He came through Portsmouth Academy originally. Moved on to Queen's Park Rangers. Osler with the clearance. You'd imagine Richard Hill getting a little animated at half-time.
So I think he'll just be looking for a little bit more tempo from his team.
Here's Green. Just miscue.
Again, that's what I was just saying earlier. Just that quality of delivery in the final third. When you've got time, you really need to be putting better balls in. I think he'll be asking a lot more from his team second half, especially with the tempo.
Chris Todd alongside him there, the player coach. Formerly with Exeter and Torquay. Forest Green as well. Vastly experienced at this level. Both will be having their say during the interval. Williams, long way out. What it needed. Flip need to make sure.
Certainly a brilliant strike there from Williams. Flynn had to use all of his experience to get across the goal there. Strikes it beautifully there. Uses the zip at the surface. Maybe just creeping wide. Flynn couldn't take any risks there to tip it around the post.
Final few seconds of the first half, and it's a corner to Aldershot Town. The referee just wants a word with Messrs Wilson and Beckwith, the two centre-halves, the two captains. Just the 1 minute to add on at the end of this first half. Can Aldershot making it a telling minute? Away by Strevens, back from Mosley. Away by Beckwith. Still Eastleigh can't get it clear. Here's Roberts. Well, he tried the spectacular. And he got the frustrated effort in the end.
He had a decent opportunity up against James Constable. He's not naturally a defender. Shows him on the inside, which opens up a corridor of shooting towards goal. So they're getting everyone behind the ball on set plays, but they're not squeezing up when the ball's cleared. And that's how Aldershot are getting second balls, and that's why they're keeping it alive.
Goalless of the break. It will be Andy Scott, the Aldershot town manager, who will be the happier as they go in at the interval. They have had the half chances that have fallen their way. And big spending Eastleigh yet to really settle in this first meeting. And Richard Hill keeping his composure, the Eastleigh manager, before he goes in there and has his say as he tries to improve the conference new boys for the second half. So goalless at the break at the Silver Lake Stadium. When we come back, we will get the thoughts of the former Aldershot town manager Gary Waddock, who of course led Aldershot to the conference title back in 2008. 0-0 at the break in Hampshire.
More from the Vanarama Conference on Bank Holiday Monday. That is 12:30 start time for us. Forest Green Rovers against Bristol Rovers. And then looking ahead to September, more Conference new boys. Dover Athletics clash with the current leaders Barnet. That is on Wednesday the 10th of September. And look at this mouth-watering prospect on Monday the 22nd of September on the North Wales, North English border. Yes, Chester against Wrexham. That is a shot of the Eastleigh dressing room. Not quite been the day they had been hoping for. And let's skip along the corridor and have a little look. A little bit more relaxed and a little bit happier Aldershot Town. Nevertheless, Gary Waddock, former Aldershot Town manager. Well, do you believe in honesty? I mean, I can't dress that up, can I? It's not been great.
No, it hasn't been great, but for Eastleigh, it's a big day for them. It's a big occasion, and they've not really settled into, the way they play. But credit to Aldershot, they have. You can see that they've been at this level, and they're used to this level. So we're expecting a little bit better second half.
Well, listen, we are playing a CD by that well-known country artist Slim Pickens, but let's have a quick look at what we do have for you. Both Aldershot. Here's Jordan Roberts early in the game.
Yeah, the delivery come in too easy, really. There should have been more pressure on the ball. But, you hit the target there, you score. The keeper's going in the opposite direction. His weight is on his right side. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit the target.
Yeah, and then just before half-time, the guy we were talking about beforehand, Brett Williams, tipped to be the top scorer in the conference, and it wasn't a bad chance, although from distance.
Yeah, it's from distance. It's difficult on the surface. The keeper has to make a save there, but there's not many chances in this game at the moment.
Why? Come on, be with your manager's head on. Why would Eastleigh be so nervous today?
Well, it's just a big occasion. They've worked so hard to get to this level. The players probably want to show how good they are. They're live on the telly. But I'm sure the manager will have a quiet word.
But we're looking there at Richard Hill. What can he do, Gary? What can he say to those boys to chill their bones?
Just to calm down, show a little bit more composure. They need to show a little bit more quality in the final third, because they have got the strikers on, in their side that can cause problems. But they need a little bit more quality in that final third.
Not a time for a manager to be angry, though.
No, there's no reason to be. There's another 45, 50 minutes to go. It's just giving them players some confidence, show a little bit more composure, relax. And who knows?
Who knows, indeed. Nevertheless, it is a stalemate with a capital S. See you in a few minutes' time.
Sport. There's no need to shout about it.
We're in the thick of Vanarama Conference action tonight, but on Saturday, Match Day Live with Fletch and Sav. That is Saturday, 10 a.m. BT Sport 1, and then following that, what a mouth-watering start for Louis van Gaal. Man United entertain Swansea City. You can join us for midday. That was, that you saw as we came back, Derek Brooks, the 90-year-old founder of Eastleigh, who was sitting all on his Todd over the break, unlike Steve Power, who's alongside Adam Virgo, and he's going to take you through, hopefully, Steve, a slightly better second half.
Well, let's hope so. Richard Hill has made a positive change, as you can see. That is Stuart Fleetwood, who's coming on at half-time. He's replacing Will Evans. Stuart Fleetwood, who's still only 28, another one with a proven record in this division, to add an attacking threat for Eastleigh. He did actually start their victory over Nuneaton on the opening day. So they now have Midson, Constable and Fleetwood, three prolific strikers over the years at this level, all on the pitch at the same time. No changes, understandably so, from Aldershot Town and Andy Scott, as Eastleigh in the blue and white prepare to get the second half of their very first home game at this level of football underway against the team, remember, less than 40 miles down the road. Stuart Fleetwood, who's come on, a player you had the brief experience with, Adam, when he was on loan at Brighton.
I say come on loan from Brighton, from Charlton at the time, and he actually played up as a centre forward. That's where he's played a lot of his career, scoring lots and lots of goals, especially in the conference. And I just felt that was a change that Richard Hill really needed to make very, very early, and he felt that he had to do it at half-time. I think Stuart Fleetwood would have felt hard done by not starting tonight's game.
Stuart Fleetwood, who's in his second season here from Luton Town, on down the left-hand side. Here's Oda Bay down the right. That's an inviting cross. Constable came in. And his reaction tells you everything.
There was a brilliant break there. Midson out wide to Oda Bay. Keeps it in well. What a delivery this is. Constable attacks it. Just couldn't quite get underneath it and get it under the bar. But that's the start that Richard Hill would be looking for from his team early on. It's a great delivery in. Lucky for James Constable, couldn't hit the target.
When he got promoted from the conference with Oxford, he scored 25 goals in 38 games, James Constable. In fact, in his career in the conference, he has 48 in 80 games. He's proven, and he's put plenty of those away over the years as well. But already much brighter from the home team.
Just even telling their attitude, a little bit faster, trying to get the ball in play, getting the ball out wide there, even just attacking the headers there. Beckworth and Reid, I'm sure he'd have been giving his team a telling off at half-time, because he knows that they can do better, talking about tempo and using their quality a little bit more.
Spence with the throw in towards Midson. Away for a Eastleigh throw. Oda Bay did the touch, obviously through to Phil Smith and the Aldershot Town goal. Nice control again from Williams, early from Lathrop. Played by Daniel Spence. Barker. Trying to find Josh Scott.
So Eastleigh will be slightly lopsided with Oda Bay on the right-hand side. He'll be playing a lot higher. Reason goes into central midfield with Fleetwood out on the left-hand side. It's a great opportunity for Roberts, knowing that Oda Bay won't really track him back as much. So he'll be looking to bomb on the other way. And if Aldershot can switch play, they can definitely get a 2-on-1 against Spencer, against the right back.
That's towards Roberts. Beckwith didn't really know where the ball was. was fouled in the end.
He let it bounce, and that was the problem. He was hoping it was going to skid through to him, took his eye off the ball. Fortunately for him, he got away with that one.
Six league goals last season. 3 years at the club now. He began at Peterborough without making an appearance. They're only 20 years of age. Jordan Roberts, one of the goal scorers in that victory over Altrincham at the weekend. Scott. Just turned into Strevens. Forbes. Curious one from him. Spence, formerly of Hayes and Yedding, right back with the throw. They'll get a second opportunity here. And now a third of Barker. Spence. Useful. Constable. Still James Constable. Eastleigh corner.
Which is a little bit too easy there from Thomas. Allowing Spence to come in off the right-hand side. James Constable picking up the second balls. Just trying to get something for his team. So second half Eastleigh looked so much brighter than they did first half.
Is going to leave this to the left foot of Michael Green. Really deep one. It's too deep a one. Mosley prevents the second corner. And the referee wants a word with somebody here. Gibbs were the two he wanted to talk to. And the supporters doing their best to encourage their team. Green's throw in towards Midson. Couldn't quite get on the end of it. Strevens did. And cleared by Glenn Wilson for Aldershot Town. Another Eastleigh throw. Paul Reed. Play to Fleetwood. Way through for him. Ironically, it was the year that Aldershot Town won the title under Gary Waddock, 2007-8, that really made Stuart Fleetwood. He scored 27 league goals in 40 games for Forest Green Rovers. The big money move to Charlton Athletic followed. Really given the opportunity in the league, he never managed to adapt.
No, as I say, he is a proven goal scorer, especially in the conference, as you said there. The goals that he scored for Forest Green and Aldershot over the years, but just unfortunately, when he's gone up another level, just hasn't been able to find the back of the net. Gone on quite a few loan moves, has never really been settled. And as a forward, it's all about confidence.
Side flag up against Midson. Atmosphere. Still no goals for them to cheer. Family occasion. The Silver Lake Stadium tonight. Here's Mosley. That's a useful cross. That's well cut out by Beckwith. chase. Right on the shoulder of Osler. Lathrop. That's it. Ball towards Brett Williams, but the offside flag was up very early.
It's a better run from Williams. It's a poor decision. There he is onside. I think Reed just gets away with that.
Knows this club so well and where they've risen from. 3 spells here as a young player. His last club, of course, Reading, who released him. He has rebuilt his career and reputation at Aldershot Town. There's Fleetwood. Still didn't give it up. Had to be watched all the way by Barker. Good work from Strevens. And he's managed to keep it in as well. More urgency there from Ben Strevens.
Well, he done well there. I think he was lucky there. They didn't go out for a throw-in. I think the ball went over there. And much better from him. So there's a throw into Aldershot. But he's not really going anywhere. Roberts doesn't really need to dive in. This is a great opportunity now, maybe for a cutback.
Again, the left foot of Green will deliver the set play. Deep one again, towards Beckwith. Constable didn't get the connection he wanted. Eastleigh beginning to ask a question or two more of Aldershot Town and Andy Scott's side.
I think he'll be pleased with the first half, the way that they dominated possession, I felt, in the final third. As I say, he's just talking about that little bit of quality. But Mosley and Forbes are really dictating play. But you've got to give credit second half to Eastleigh. They've come out, they're pressing a lot higher. And at the minute, they haven't really got a foothold in the game.
That's for Constable to chase. He's going to bring play back because of the late challenge on Jay Reason. Free kick to Eastleigh. Fleetwood. This time he's away from Gibbs. But not from Lathrop.
He's looked sharp since he's come on, Stuart Fleetwood. Bit of urgency in his play every time he's got the ball. He's looked to run down the line at Gibbs. So Gibbs gets a little bit too tight for him there.
Another throw from Green. Constable trying to apply the flick. Reed. Long this time from Spence. Good run from Odebaid. Cross came Joe Osler to deal with the situation for Aldershot Town.
That's good defending there from Osler. Barker just got caught underneath it. Odebaid used his pace well to get in behind there with the long ball. So he just gives away a poor foul there.
Phil Smith with the free kick. Aldershot Town looking for a free kick. It didn't arrive. Cleared by Spence. Odebaid. You could see Constable's intention. It was Strevens who'd made the run from midfield. Swaby is required just for another quiet word in the ear of James Constable. Spence with the clearance. Midson trying to bring Fleetwood into play. Green on the overlap, still Fleetwood. He's picked out Oda Bay. Deflected cross. No problems for Kieran Forbes for Aldershot Town. Fair challenge by Reason. Constable trying to stay on side. Ball didn't reach him anyway. Reason then trying to power his way through. Lathrop with the challenge. Again the referee right on top of it.
He's in a great position there. It's close to the plate. It's a good tackle there.
Scott. Still Scott. Now Mosley. Williams. Lathrop. Trying to slide that through to Josh Scott. Able to provide the cross. The 29-year-old.
Slightly better play there. Again, keeping the ball well. They finally get the front two into the game. It's a great run. He's definitely onside there. Just couldn't quite do enough to get the cross into the box. Just don't think they've got the front two. Scott Williams into the game whatsoever like they did in the first half. They were chasing everything down. They did go a little bit direct-handed, Scott's team. You've got a prolific scorer in Williams. You want to try and get him into the game in second half. Haven't really done enough to get him to do that.
Both these teams began the season with 3 goals. Neither able to conjure up one yet in the first hour of this, the first competitive meeting between the two. Here's Beckwith. Momentarily breakdown in communication. Leeds back pass just about had enough pace for Ross Flitney.
Again, Ross Flitney's just using his experience to come out and clean it out. It's a poor back pass there from Beckwith. Not enough on it there. So Williams will chase everything down.
Forward from Barker, too strong from him. Second season having arrived from Southend. They've come out and forced the locals for this big night. What will be the outcome? Fleetwood. 4 in the penalty area. Green. Back from Beckwith. Jay Reason trying to get it under control. Powerful run from him. Managed to get it across to Midson. Well, that's the closest we've come to a goal. And it was Jack Midson against the woodwork.
Well, he needed to score that. And it was just determination. Reasons not to give it up there. Even though it's on his weaker left foot. From 6 or 7 yards out. Has to be scoring.
A shake of the head from the 31-year-old. Made his name in this division originally with Histon. Steve Fallon team, they got all the way to the playoffs. Close to his first Eastleigh goal, and he's on the chase again here. Smith was always the favourite.
It's an important time now for Andy Scott's team. So Eastleigh have really started this second half very, very fast. You talk about concentration at this level, it's key for him at the minute. to really see this period out.
It's a goal kick. The standout chance of the game.
Well, his reasons determination not to give this one up. And he picks out Midson brilliantly. Had Odobay behind him, couldn't maybe let it go through his legs. Took the shot on. Unfortunately hits the bar there. Has been the chance of the game so far.
Well, you certainly can't accuse Richard Hill of not going for it with Fleetwood Odobay. Constable and Midson on the pitch, but it was his goalkeeper Flickney that was required there. Will he be required again? Oh, we couldn't do anything about that from Josh Scott right across the face.
Well, there's a clearance from Lee's Betworth. He's injured and he's limping. It's a brilliant ball. It's a great first touch there from Scott. Hits it across the angle there. It just goes agonisingly wide.
There's a problem for Paul Reed. I think it was from when he was involved with his goalkeeper coming out a touch earlier, Adam.
Well, this is what you hate as a defender, when your keeper comes flying out. That's what you want, brave goalkeeping. You think the keeper's going to come off worse, landing on his neck. Catches Beckworth there, and that's what happened afterwards. He couldn't get himself up.
So running repairs for Paul Reed. While Reed gets some treatment, let's get a word with his manager, Richard Hill, with Clem.
You use that in that break to get a bit of information across to the boys. What you've been saying to them now?
Yeah, I'm just going to make a change in a minute. I just wanted to speak to Jack Midson, tell him what I want him to do when I make the change, you know. We're just starting to get back into the game a little bit, you know. I said at half-time to the lads, I didn't think they were better than us, but what they did was more effective than what we did, you know. And although we've got very good players at this club, they have to be a little bit more streetwise as to this level of football. At the minute, we're not. You know? So I've just had a little word with Midson, what I'd like him to do in a minute when I make a change, and then we'll see how we go from there.
All part of the rich tapestry of your eyes, eh?
Aldershot have the free kick. Jack Midson, the one to receive the instructions from his manager, the one who hit the crossbar. Lathrop. In from Roberts. Reason. Constable brings Odobay into play, and he's looking for the return ball. Whistler just about got there. A reminder, more live football tomorrow on BT Sport 1 from 7:30 from north of the border as Rangers go to Falkirk. You can see that one live. On Saturday, the best Premier League build-up with Fletch and Sav, episode 1 from 10, with Matchday Live. And that, of course, followed by the only place to see Louis van Gaal's first game in charge of Manchester United. Wayne Rooney, now the official captain. They are at home to Swansea. All the build-up from midday. Don't forget, of course, you can watch On the Move via the BT Sport app with all the details at btsport.com. Inside the last 22 minutes here in Hampshire, as the rain gets heavier. Barker with the throw. Odobay. Barker just about managed to get there, and Odobay with a late challenge on Osler. It's an Aldershot free kick. quickly taken. Roberts. Decent spell for the visitors, this. Strevens required. Excellent play from Williams. Constable. And that was a little reckless from Daniel Spence. We haven't had a card yet tonight. I think we're going to have one now.
Yeah, I think this will be the first one of the night. It's great feet there from Thomas. Spence just comes through. Takes him out completely there. It's a good first touch there from Roberts there. Quick second one. And just gets caught.
So Daniel Spence is the first recipient of a yellow card tonight. He rekindled his career for 18 months in the Glen Hoddle Academy in Spain. Got himself back into football. He's Lathrop with the free kick for Aldershot. Watched all the way by Strevens. Roberts wasn't allowed the shooting opportunity. Won back by Forbes. He ran straight into traffic. Odebaid. Green will take charge of the situation. Still Green. Terrific run from the left back. Desperate block from the Aldershot back line.
That's what you need there. Throwing bodies in front of the ball. There's a great change of pace from Green. There's a resilient defensive Aldershot's trying to keep this clean sheet.
Reason. Well, here comes the Eastleigh change that Richard Hill was alluding to. And it is the introduction of yet another vastly experienced player, Craig McAllister, the Glaswegian, in his third season with Newport, replaces Yemi Odebaid, another one who has got promoted from this division. He was with Steve Evans Crawley back in 2011 when they won the title. He's also on loan with Paul Buckles Luton when they lost the playoff final to York. 34 years of age now. Richard Hill has introduced him for the last 18 minutes or so.
I think he's going to play centrally. I think James Constable and Midson. Constable more on the left, Midson on the right. Just really trying to play off him.
Flitnick. Huge kick from the goalkeeper. Reed. That's a foul by Strevens. Gibbs. Here's Mosley. Promising for Aldershot. Scott. Oh, look at the space here. Williams wanted the extra touch. Beckwith was on the way.
Scott's reaction to his strike partner is strike it on your left. He's twice now. He's had an opportunity, Williams, to shoot with his left. And he's trying to cut back on his right.
Lathrop with the corner. Flitney got a hand to it. Still alive potentially for Aldershot. Not now, it isn't. Jordan Roberts with the effort. Aldershot are making a change, and it is a debut for Sam Hatton, new boy who arrived in the summer from Grimsby. He's replacing Mark Mosley for Aldershot, who another one who has the winning feeling of getting out of this division. He had 5 seasons at AFC Wimbledon and was part of the team that beat Luton in the playoff final and helped them into the league. He was also part of those Grimsby teams who lost in the playoff semi-finals last season to Gateshead.
I'll say he's naturally a right back last season for Grimsby. I think he's an excellent signing for Andy Scott. I think he had a great season at Grimsby last year.
Here goes Roberts. He's got goal side. Cut out by Strevens. It's opening up a bit now as we approach the last quarter of an hour.
Yeah, maybe he could have shot for goal, put it across the 6-yard box, but Hatton coming in just around the penalty spot. It was a lot harder ball to find him there. Better play.
Here's Williams. Roberts onside. Oh, it almost came to hand, the substitute. Fleetwood. It's a throw to Aldershot. Here's Hatton. Forward from Wilson, too strong. Well, we've mentioned tonight that Jayden Gibbs is the twin brother of Arsenal's Kieran Gibbs. His brother will start the season at the weekend against Crystal Palace, who are without a manager. The breaking news tonight is that Tony Pulis has left Crystal Palace before the season starts by mutual consent. So Tony Pulis, who did such a magnificent job in keeping Crystal Palace in the Barclays Premier League last season, has left the club by mutual consent ahead of the season opener at Arsenal on Saturday. And don't forget, of course, you'll have more of that in the Sports Hub that follows our live Panorama conference coverage tonight here on BT Sport. But that is the breaking news in football for you. Tony Pulis has left Crystal Palace by mutual consent. Joe Osler with the free kick for Aldershot Town. Headed clear by McAllister. Back by Gibbs. McAllister into the path of Midson. The man who's come closest to breaking the deadlock tonight. Fleetwood. Strevens to Green. Neatly done again by the left back. Midson calling for it at the back post. It's Glenn Wilson with the block for Aldershot Town, the captain.
He's had a couple of chances now, Green, using his pace brilliantly. Now another long throw into the Aldershot box.
Long from Green. Went in the air by Gibbs. Constable trying to bulldoze his way through. Wouldn't rule out a goal from either team at the moment to possibly win it.
So in the last 10 minutes, so Roberts down the left-hand side for Aldershot. He's getting the better of Spence. Just needs that final ball to be a little bit better. So Eastleigh started to fade out a little bit at the start of the second half. They started brilliantly. They need to get Fleetwood more into the game. I think he's their main threat to get something from this game. He's really come on and showed a lot of promise, but so the last 10 minutes have not really got to the ball to him very much.
Forbes. Wilson switching play. Marker forward from left back. Cut out by Reed. ball against Jordan. Well, I thought it was against Jordan Roberts, but he's given it to Aldershot, the free kick.
So it's definitely Roberts' hand that it hit. So you see the throw coming here. It was a handball first. Not too sure what the referee's seen there.
I don't think comes of this. Eastleigh may well be having a word with the official. It is Sam Hatton, the substitute, to deliver. What an inviting one as well. No one on the end of it.
It's a great ball there from Hatton. Into it, plenty of venom into the area. Just need that to be sneaking into the far post. Misses everybody.
Hill, his player coach Chris Todd in deep discussion. Andy Scott looks at his watch. It'll tell him that we're inside the last 10 minutes in the heavy rain in Hampshire. Are we going to get a goal? Are we going to get a winner in the first ever competitive meeting between these two clubs? Forbes. Excellent challenge again from Reed. Roberts once more for Aldershot Town. And back by Strevens. Fleetwood. Decent knockdown from McAllister. Constable wasn't able to generate any power.
That's what James Constable needs. Comes into McAllister and he spins off beautifully there. I've spent. It's a great strike there. He just couldn't quite get enough on it. That's better play there. Always looking the ball into McAllister, and that's when Constable comes alive.
Gibbs with the throw. That's not going to reach Roberts. Adam, does deserve to be a winner tonight? Would defeat be harsh on one of these teams?
I think so. I think this, first half I felt Aldershot started the better. I think they made the most of Eastleigh's nerves being the first game in this division. But credit to Eastleigh, coming to the second half very well. I say the game is there for the taking for either of them to get a goal after their opening day wins for both teams. I think Andy's got to be pleased with the point. This is going to be a difficult place to come away and get 3 points. And it's just about getting points on the board early at the start of the season. Always looks a lot better when you get a few wins and draws very early on.
Here's Brett Williams driving at Eastleigh's defence. Certainly worth a go in these conditions.
So a couple of times he's gone onto his left foot and decided to come back on his right. But this time Williams went down the outside. And it's great play here. It's a bit too easy there from Spence. And now he's charging there. It's a decent strike, but comfortable save there for Findlay.
Eastleigh yet to concede a goal in their 2 games so far. Their first 2 games ever. Not in non-league's top flight. McAllister's touch. Forward by Spence. Roberts. Barker. Williams. Green again is on the overlap for Fleetwood here, the left back. He's He's got forward to good effect in this second half for Eastleigh. He's picked out Reason. In from Spence. McAllister again trying to apply the knockdown. Fleetwood.
Say a couple of times now. Try to find McAllister. It was decent defending there from Gibbs. Read the danger. So Stuart Fleetwood just catches him a little bit late there. Just see Aldershot, they're just dropping a little bit deep at the minute. They're inviting pressure on. And if Eastleigh can get it out wide to their wide men, get crosses in, especially into McAllister now that he's on. So Constable's always going to be lurking around for second balls. Could cause Aldershot some problems.
Reason. Hatton trying to pick out Josh Scott. Roberts. It's towards Williams. Scott there. Cleared in the end by Green and blocked by Lathrop.
Well, I say the work rate of Scott has been unbelievable tonight. Him and Williams have chased everything down. And again, they just allow the crossing a little bit too easily there.
It's another recognisable figure from the conference, Ben Wright. It's going to be the third and final change for Eastleigh. He was equal top scorer last season. 13 goals in 20 games, having arrived from Salisbury in January. He replaces Jack Midson, the man who hit the crossbar. Certainly has plenty of options in terms of attacking at his disposal. Richard Hill. A lot of time for Ben Wright to influence matters.
I say he's a proven goal scorer, but then bringing him on, James Constable now just comes out onto the right-hand side, more of a right winger. I think they just play pretty direct now in the last sort of 5 minutes.
Here is Wright. You can see Lathrop coming. Williams, he's all alone. Beckwith again did just enough there for Eastleigh.
Williams couldn't just quite get that touch to take it away from him. Beckwith just did enough to get a toe on it to clear that.
Hatton. And we didn't get the return ball from Josh Scott. Long from Strevens. Nobody wants to make the error that would be so costly at this stage.
He used all of the experience there. Barker, I think he's had a pretty decent game tonight. Thought he may struggle against the pace of Oda Bay in the first half, but really had him in his pocket. And now he's got Constable up against him. Used his experience, good angle there, good header back.
Here's Spence. Strevens. That's good work rate again from Aldershot.
So they're certainly pressing well, even at this late stage of the game. Their fitness levels have been very, very impressive, Andy Scott's team, especially away from home. You're not going to have a lot of the ball, especially against an Eastleigh team that do like to pass it on their surface. That's what they'll need this season. Plenty of work rate. I think they've looked very, very good tonight. I think they'll have a lot better season than what they did last year.
5 seasons they had in League Two. Even lost the playoff in 2010 to get into League One to Rotherham. Trying to have a more upbeat, positive campaign this time round. Now going to bring on Dan Fitchett in the last minute of normal time very shortly. Run by McAllister. Now Constable. Are we to get any late drama? Constable went for goal himself. So here comes Dan Fitchett. 16 goals in the conference last season for Salisbury. He was originally an Aldershot youth team player. It's going to be a very brief appearance as he replaces Brett Williams.
He's had a mixed night tonight, Brett Williams. I think he's shown class of why he scored so many goals last season. But again, Fitchett could just come on and see the game out.
There will be 4 minutes of time to add on. For one of these two teams to potentially find a winning goal. Wright is chasing this. Got the last touch. The challenge with Wilson. Aldershot are making another late change. Removing Jordan Roberts. Bringing on Joseph and Gesson, who is on loan from Stevenage till January. Just 19 years of age. For the remaining 3 minutes of stoppage time.
I say had that chance in the first half, Roberts, which went wide, but I thought, especially second half against Spence, some good runs down the line. It's unfortunately just he couldn't get that final ball into the box.
McAllister. Oastler across. In from Spence. McAllister. Constable's delivery. Clean Aldershot managing to get bodies in the way and cleared by Barker.
Just the cross needed to be a little bit better there from James Constable. Especially at this time of the game, it's crucial.
It's found its way through to Fleetwood. Able to use his pace. And miscued by Green. Aldershots have switched off, it's still in play. Back in from Constable. Just over McAllister. Constable once more. Oh, he wanted Spence to help him out. Final minute of stoppage time. Constable. Corner. In the final few seconds for Eastleigh.
This is going to be the final chance for Richard Hill's team. He'll just be looking for a quality delivery in for one of his big men. He's got right on now, McAllister. That's a little bit of extra height.
Is there to be very, very late drama? Or there might be! It is! It's the substitute!
Wright with a golden goal to win it for Eastleigh with surely the last touch. The man who got 13 goals in the Conference South last season will make sure their first ever home game in the Conference Premier is a winning one.
Well, you just couldn't write a better script than that for Eastleigh in their first competitive game. He'll be devastated that his team's conceded so late on. I was talking about a delivery that comes in, and it's Osler just loses his man there right at the far post. Doesn't do enough, gets caught ball watching. And there's a substitute to come on and give Richard Hill a winning start at home.
What a moment for the 25-year-old. What a moment for these supporters. They thought it was a draw. That's how late it was. Richard Hill raises his arms in the air. It's a cruel one for Aldershot Town. But the first ever meeting between these two, the first ever home game in the non-league top flight, is a winning one for Eastleigh, courtesy of that man, Ben Wright, in the 94th minute with a dramatic late winner. All smiles for the Conference New Boys and for the people who remember the start of this club in Hampshire. That's a historical goal, and it is a 100% start after 2 games for Eastleigh, last season's Conference South champions. Ben Wright, on as a substitute, is the one that makes sure that they take all 3 points. Put these dates in your diary. More drama to come from the Vanarama Conference. Bank holiday Monday, the 25th, Forest Green entertaining the other New Boys, Bristol Rovers. It's a 12:30 start in the Cotswolds. Wednesday, the 10th of September, more New Boys, Dover Athletic at home to Barnet, who've also got 6 points from 6 so far. 7:30 start on One and in HD. And then, what a cracker in the Northwest. Monday the 22nd, it is Chester at home to Wrexham on 2 from 7:30. All smiles at Eastleigh. Just their second ever game at this level. It's another winning one. We'll have all the reaction when we come back.
Late drama then in the Vanarama Conference. Those are the disconsolate Aldershot Town players. Their manager letting them have a little bit of what for. And it's all the fault of this man standing alongside me, Ben Wright.
Yeah.
What a substitution, what a feeling.
Yeah, no, it was a great feeling obviously to go on and get the goal, and yeah, I mean, I was just over the moon to come on and make an impact. So.
Well, let's show you it. Come on, let's have a little look. You can talk us through this and then we'll get the thoughts of you, Gaffer.
Well, I remember the right back was trying to fight me at the back and I've lost him, and yeah, little side foot, it's bounced over the top of him, so yeah, really happy with that.
I mean, the gaffer told us just before half-time he thought the occasion had got to the boys. Obviously you weren't on the pitch at the time, but was it hard to suppress what it meant today?
Yeah, well, it was obviously the first game at home in this league for us, but I think the boys were solid, and obviously it was a matter of time, I thought, before we got the goal. I thought we would